guys, this is Allyson Lewis. I'm a time management expert with the 7-Minute Life, and our company has been created to help you improve your time management, increase your daily productivity, and become as efficient as possible. I have enjoyed writing books. The one on the left, the 7-Minute Solution, tells you how to improve your time management. The one on the right, the 7-Minute Life Daily Planner, is far different. It allows you to know how to do it, to literally go hands-on, interactive, and understand how you can improve your daily productivity. I've been doing time management for over a decade now. And during that time, I've had great opportunity to speak to a lot of really big companies, to have mentions in a lot of press and media. And the reason that that's happened is that millions of people struggle with their time management. It's something I'm very passionate about because I want people to have time for life. You can tell that I have a little bit of energy, and in addition to just shooting these videos, we also speak all across the country. So if you're looking for a coach or someone to speak, that's what we do. That's who Allyson Lewis is and who the 7-Minute Life is. You've come to watch this video to find out how you can understand time management, what it is, and how we can solve some of the problems. If you're taking notes, I'd like you to write down these 3 phrases that I think explain everything about time management. The 3 phrases are, what do I need to do? How can I accomplish it? How can I do it? And how can I do it faster? Let me just repeat those. It's very short. What, how, and how faster. I love that how faster part. Let me introduce you to the philosophy of the 7-Minute Life. This is where it all started. The human brain has a very short attention span. We can barely concentrate for even 2 seconds at times. So how does time management really happen? There are 24 hours in a day. A lot of people don't understand that that is a hard framework. In other words, there is nothing you can do to increase the number of hours that are in your day. And so we have some kind of to-do list, and we might have 5 things on it, or we might have 20 things on it, both personal and at work. So we take that to-do list, we write it down, and we want to do it all in this one day. But as you look at the hours in the day, what you find out is that as you begin to do these tasks, you start running out of time. So every new task or new activity that you put into your life immediately knocks something out of your life. For example, when you want to take on a new project, it means that one of the projects or one of your to-dos is not going to get done. Or it could be that what gets knocked out of your life is sleep. These are the things. There is a hard framework. Anything you put in knocks something out. 24 hours in the day, that's 1,440 minutes. The entire philosophy of the 7-Minute Life is what's the simplest thing you can do. And I'm going to challenge you to choose to take 1% of your time, that's 14 minutes every day, rather to live in chaos, rather than have all this disorganization, to take 14 minutes, and that's 7 minutes in the evening, and then 7 minutes in the morning, same 7 minutes. What do you do during that time? You take time to think, to write down your priority list, to create your to-do list. During that, you're going to prioritize those things. You're going to decide what has to be done tomorrow. You're going to look at the hard deadlines that you have. So during this period in the evening, you're going to step out of the noise and you're going to actually create a written daily plan of action. When we walk into the office with a mental plan of action, it's like a dry erase board. We may have these things written down in our brain, but as soon as we sit down at our desk, all of those things are just wiped clean and we focus on the most urgent things. So in the afternoon or evening, when you take this time to think, you become intentional. You think about it, you write it down, you prioritize what you will do, and then you set deadlines and order. In the morning, and you know this is going to happen, you take all of this to-do list, and when you walk in the office, something is going to happen. So what you had written down the night before is going to have to be recalibrated. So you're going to have some kind of recalibration and basically replan your day based on the reality of what's new on your plate. Because if you remember, whatever comes into your day that's new is automatically going to knock something out. So here are the tools. There are two tools that I believe are the foundation of what we do and how we can help you improve your time management. The daily progress report is just that. If we don't create a written plan of action and we don't track our progress, then the days are just going to get away from us. We won't get anything accomplished. The daily progress report was created to have one, and I do mean one piece of paper that can drive your written plan. Once you've taken that 7 minutes in the evening to think about what you want to do, what you want to accomplish, you're then going to make a written commitment. And what I mean by that is that when you write something down, you're physically making a commitment between who you are now and what you want to accomplish. But you're going to have to narrow those things down because you can't take your time and do 15 or 20 things. This is where our concept of 5 before 11 comes in. We want you to take that list and whittle it down to 5 things that you'll do before 11 a.m. What are the 5 high-value tasks, the high-value activities that you're going to put in the front of mind that you're going to get done? We're going to transfer those into this 5 before 11 list. So now you're writing down the most important things that you're going to do. What would happen if you were able to accomplish, and I mean start and finish an entire task? Not where you're getting interrupted, but if you could start and complete a task where at the end of the day, you could check it off your list. What if you were able to do that not with just one activity, but 2, 3, 4, 5? How would that feel? It would feel amazing. The other thing that I know is when you complete a task or are working on a task, typically there's an unfinished task that comes out of working on one thing. For example, if I make a call to someone that was on my to-do list, typically that call is going to result in another task that I need to follow up on. Do you know what your 5 biggest priorities are? Do you have a written piece of paper, a written plan, and is it in one place where you can put it in a binder so you have one safe location? We call this a capture tool, and we want everything to be in one location. Why? Because a lot of people use applications, they use Post-it notes, they take notes in meetings. We want to have every single thing in one place. Probably the number one thing in business is that we have to make connections. If we're going to grow our business or learn in our business, we learn that from other people or we make associations. Are you going to commit to even contacting 3 people, mentors, friends, acquaintances? Who are you going to learn from? Who are you going to ask to help you in business? Let's just step back and talk about the 5 before 11. This has revolutionized people's lives. If you would choose to take 7 minutes, and I mean that's all it is, 7 minutes in the evening to think, to plan, to choose what you're going to do, where you wake up in the morning and you're not wondering what you're going to be intentional about. You have it written down and you've narrowed it down to simply 5 things where it's doable, it's realistic, and you can be intentionally, even have time for interruptions. Imagine what that would look like. The problem even with the 5 before 11 list is I often see people put things on there like create marketing budget. So they come in and they have marketing budget on their to-do list. Well, let's talk about that. You can get all of these tools that we're going to talk about, and they're free. There's no charge for any of these tools. you can just go to the 7minutelife.com/tools. In that, you will find this daily progress report that we're talking about. It's that one sheet of paper that has the 5 before 11, it has the connections, it has the unfinished task, and it has a lot more things that we can cover in another video. This is the first tool I would want you to use. This is the second. This is the 15-minute increment tracking sheet. Remember that we said we have to know what we're going to do. If you know what your 5 before 11 are planned for, let's look at a real day. If you have something on your day, let's say that you have a staff meeting here that's going to last an hour, and you have a project that you need to work on for about an hour and a half, and that's going to take 1.5 hours, and you have a lunch meeting that may only take 30 minutes. What you begin to see, those are called pre-scripted. These things are already in your calendar. They're in your smartphone. These things are hard stops. There's nothing you can do to take advantage. All the things that are on your 5 before 11 are not going to be in these hard stops typically. So that leaves you this amount of time, this amount of time, and this amount of time. What you thought you had a full day to accomplish, you may only have 2 hours of your day to accomplish those things. Everything else may be pre-scripted. What I want people to do is to create their 5 before 11, to talk about how long each one of those tasks might take, and then look at their pre-scripted time where their meetings are already put in and see how much time you have left. And then as a reality check, you take this second half and you write down how long it really took. How much time did it really take? Did the staff meeting really end in an hour, or did it go an hour and a half? When you had the project started, were you interrupted? And so this project you were going to work on for an hour and a half, as soon as you got started on it, someone knocked on your door and said, oh my goodness, I've got an urgent problem. I need you to finish it right now. All of a sudden, this project is no longer even valid. If you remember, when something else comes in, it knocks something out. Now you have this project that is unfinished. It's going to roll over to the next day, and you see that happen day after day after day. What does that end up looking like? This is what I think it ends up looking like, kind of like an hourglass. You've got your to-do list. You're putting all of these things in. At the end of the day, you want to have what we call outcome. You want to accomplish these things. Let's say that you have 1 thing, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. You start working on the first project. You want to take it down to an outcome where you start it, you completely finish it, and mark it off your list. What really happens is that you're interrupted over and over and over again. You never even see task number 2, 3, or 4. The next day, you now have 5 new tasks that are coming in. So you've got these 5 new tasks. But the problem is you've had this problem for months. So as you've had this problem for months, you don't just have 4 or 5 things. You have hundreds of things that have just backlogged. We call that the choke point. That's why we help people with time management, is I believe millions of people are living here where they have so many projects coming in, they have no outcome. The last thing I'm going to talk about, when you put down that you have a marketing budget to prepare, if any tasks is longer than 20 minutes, I would not put that on your 5 before 11. What you want on your 5 before 11, we call micro actions. Those are tiny little projects that you've broken things down in that you can start and completely finish within this 20-minute time frame. If you have 5 things on your 5 before 11 list, the only way you will get those done is if they're tiny enough to start and finish. Not to get halfway done, not to get partway done, but to finish. If something is going to take longer than 20 minutes, it is not a micro action. It is not something you can do. It is actually a project. The biggest problem with to-do lists, people put all kinds of things on that. To have an effective to-do list, Every task on that list has to be something you can do. You have to be able to take action. In order to use your time, you have to take action that moves you forward in your job or what you're looking for. The key to all this, 7 minutes, plan out your day, create a 5 before 11. Make sure that your 5 before 11 are tasks that you can actually do, prioritize them, and then begin to accomplish them. If you were to accomplish 5 micro actions, and this is where it begins to compound, 5 micro actions for 7 days, you would have accomplished 35 tasks, started them, finished them, moved them on your list. But let's look at this. The 7-minute life is on a 90-day platform. It's 90 days. The seasons are roughly 90 days. Corporate earnings are 90 days. We work in 90-day platforms. Imagine if you took a 5 before 11 list for 90 days, started and finished them, you would have accomplished 450 positive steps forward toward the person you want to be. Why is all this important? John Maxwell said there's 6 steps to personal change. First, you have to think about it. I hope I've gotten you thinking about today. And then you have to believe it. We have to move from that place where we don't believe it to a place we do believe it. And when we believe it, that changes our expectations, which change our attitude, which finally changes our behavior. When our behavior changes, our performance changes, and all of those things together change our lives. The 7-minute life is not just about time management. It's about having time to do the things that are most important to you. John Maxwell kind of closed up in this segment that I was reading. He said, positive expectation produces things that are worthwhile in our lives. Positive expectation produces excitement and conviction and that desire, the passion to move forward. It produces confidence, commitment, and energy. When we've gone through things in our lives, isn't that what we want? That's what the 7-minute life is all about. It's about improving your time management, improving your daily productivity, improving your efficiency, but there's a so that in here. The 7-minute life wants you to do all of these things so that you can have a life with purpose and priorities that brings you all of these things. I'm Allyson Lewis, a time management expert, creator of the 7-minute life. We do speaking, training, and coaching. If any of these things are things that you need, or if you run across organizations or associations in those, I really hope that you'll go on our website, the7minutelife.com, and contact us. If we can be of any help to you in any way, please join us in the 7-Minute Life community. Thanks so much, and I hope that you will create your 5 before 11 list for tomorrow.